Good morning. Well, I'm getting ready to check my glucose and ketones. I woke up probably a half an hour ago, and normally I would do this at bedside, but before you eat or drink anything. Now, mind you, if you have just plain water or electrolyte water with no flavoring in it, it won't affect the results, so that would be okay. Anyway, what I use is the Keto Mojo. And the reason for this is that if you use the urine test strips, they are not testing what's circulating in your blood. They're only testing what winds up in your urine as far as the level of ketones. And we would like to have an accurate measure of what's circulating in our bloodstream. So, after being on the carnivore diet for 2.5 years, I began probably a year ago using a continuous glucose monitor and the Keto Mojo. And the reason for that is that if you're battling, if you're older in particular, and you're battling some type of illness or disease, you need to know that you're in a state of ketosis, that what you're eating the right amount of fat, the right amount of protein, and that you're not overeating. Yes, you can still overeat on a carnivore diet. So these are basically what the test strips look like. The brown one is for glucose and the blue one is for your ketones. And this is what is inside, what each one looks like. Okay. And they will each go in the monitor here. Okay. This is what your little test, let's just put it, let's use some fancy medical terms. It's your finger poker thing. Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and poke my finger here. And then what you want to do, because you have some tissue fluid in the first drop, is you want to wipe that away. And then get the second drop of blood there ready. Put your test strip in, your monitor. Okay. There we go, 81, not too bad. Now let's see how the ketones are. That's far more important, although that's a good morning fasting glucose. Let's hope I don't have to poke myself again. Sometimes this happens. It's really annoying. I don't know why. Maybe because I'm cold, my blood will just clot right away. Oh, here we go. I managed to squeeze out another drop. Hooray. Okay. There we go. And this is how you do it. You hold. Just touch the drop of blood, and by capillary action it fills. There we go, 3.0, not too bad. Now, I have to tell you that I've not been the most strict carnivore. I've included avocado, cheese, broccoli on occasion, maybe green beans. Anyway, just a little here and there, leafy greens. The problem is, anytime I have carbohydrates, it makes me crave more carbohydrates. And in particular, cheese is a problem. Since I started being a little bit more strict, I discovered, one, I feel better. Two, it's nice to not have watery stools. I can't eat eggs, and I cannot eat cheese. I went on a 4-day bike packing trip and discovered the cheese, and I mean, I had extra sharp cheddar with like 0 lactose, okay? Yeah, no. Anyway, so what you want to do once you've got your results in here is you look up your app on your phone right there, okay? And you're going to turn this on by just depressing the button, and right here you hit that little symbol. Oops, I hit the wrong one. Sorry. It kind of looks like a recycle sign. That one. Scanning in progress. Now you know you've got the right button. Okay. Sync complete. Yay. Now we can look at my results. Okay. So there we go. My glucose was 81, my ketones were 3.0, and 1.5 was my glucose ketone index. That is a very high therapeutic level, and that's what I aim for. Mind you, this means, oh, here's another problem I had. I liked to use artificial sweeteners like stevia, monk fruit, etc. The problem with those is that maltodextrin and other ingredients are in there, and those will jack up your blood sugar. Trust me. I'm not there to having plain black coffee yet. I don't know that. Maybe I'll just stop drinking coffee, which I understand a lot of people that do carnivore say, just have black coffee. I don't know that I can do that, at least not yet. Anyway, I do have butter, MCT oil, and coconut cream in my coffee, and makes it far more palatable, much more like what I drink most of my adult life. And, you know, it's my one bad habit I'm not going to give up on yet. As long as I don't add a sweetener to it, it does not jack up my blood sugar, because I've got a CGM on. Let's see. It's by levels. Anyway, so there we go. That's how that correlates. They're pretty close. 81, 89. So all I can say is, since I got rid of the artificial sweeteners in my diet, got rid of cheese, and I had to stop eating eggs. I absolutely love eggs. I think, you know, after 6 months or so, I will try and reintroduce eggs. Hopefully I'll be able to tolerate them. But here's the theory. Now, this is, as I recall, was explained to me by Dave Asprey, who's, you know, the original biohacker. Anyway, he did a talk with Michaela Peterson on MCAS, mast cell activation syndrome, and that is probably what's going on with me. If you've ever been diagnosed with fibromyalgia, chronic fatigue syndrome, and long COVID, there you go, MCAS. That'll explain why you are so hyper allergic to everything. And unfortunately, that's where I'm at. So I have hope and faith that I'm going to heal. I'm planning on getting out and hiking the Pacific Crest Trail starting in March, and we'll see what happens. But I think that being in the sun, having plenty of opportunity to get my feet on the earth. You know, I'm going to, you know, walk at least 10 minutes each day, walk around with bare feet. Just getting sunlight in my eyes and practicing blinking more and getting away from electronics. I mean, I will use the electronics to navigate, but, you know, just not doing the endless scrolling on the internet, which is really bad for our eyes. Anyway, I am losing my eyesight. I'm legally blind at this point, and that's why I have to clean up my diet, and I'm seeking healing, because I'd like to retain what vision I have. I can see up really close, you know, like about this far from my face. Everything else is pretty blurry as you go out. Like if you were to, I guess the best way I can share with you what my vision is like is if you have a camera that has autofocus and you stick your finger up in front of the camera, it'll focus on your finger and everything in the background will be all blurry. That's my vision. Well, but you got to add in, I've got some other crazy stuff going on because I have 4 autoimmune illnesses: Fuchs dystrophy, epithelial basement membrane dystrophy. I've got cataracts, vitreous layer detachment, and vitelliform dystrophy, which affects the macula. And anyway, so I've got these, like, my doctor showed me the scan. They look like egg yolk, like droplets, fat droplets, deposits in the macula of my eye. And straight lines will look wavy. Things will be moving that should be stable. I'll see parts of things and not all of the object, but I've learned I do have a sweet spot in this one eye. In my peripheral vision, I really don't have any central vision. And that sweet spot is where I am able to see and read. If a number is big enough, if they're real small, I can't read it. If a number is big enough and has enough contrast, that's the other thing, is this has, I believe it's white numbers on a black background. That's what I see the best with. Or conversely, black on a white background. A lot of contrast. I'm having trouble distinguishing between colors. I can't tell between blue and gray and blue-green anymore. They just all kind of look the same. And I was watching a video yesterday, and the audio description said the lady was wearing a mint green top and burgundy pants, and it looked like a pale blue, almost like a robin's egg blue is what her shirt looked like to me, and brown pants. So I'm just not seeing colors the same. And I have had surgery on my right eye. I had a corneal transplant and the cataract's been removed. So it's more the rods and cones in the macula of my eye have been dying off, and so the color distinction is just not there anymore, and it makes it very difficult for me to find things. Anyway, that's just life. In the meantime, I am going to go hike while I can, and who knows, maybe I'll find healing in doing that. If you'd like this video, please hit the like button. If you would like to see more content like this, hit subscribe. And if you know of somebody else who might enjoy this video, please share it. Thanks. Have a great day. Bye-bye.